Hey, my name is Jim, and I'm a customer success coach at Bright MLS. And today I want to take you through how to create mailing labels using public records and the map search. And the reason I want to focus on map search is I often find that subscribers don't know how to utilize the layers and the different tools that we have within the map. And they also don't realize how you can set up a public records search with specific criteria to really get focus in on owners that you want to interact with and potentially try to prospect and earn their business. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and we're going to jump right in. So right here, I'm going to go up to the top left, and I'm going to select search. Next, I'm going to go over here to the right and select public records. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on creating a map search. So over here on the right-hand side, you can see it says map search. And then below that, it will have the box here that says within X miles of whatever address or zip code or place of interest that you want to create that map search based off of. So for example, I'm going to type in a zip code here. As I start to type it in, you'll see the search results will show up underneath. I'm going to left click and select that. And then I'm going to go over here to this box on the left, and I'm going to select the distance. In this case, it's in the middle of a city, so I'm going to select 0.5 for 0.5 miles. So anything within a half-mile radius of the 19130 zip code is going to now show up on my map. And again, this is a public record search, so we want to narrow it down a bit, right? There's some other criteria that we may want to add. Now, this is entirely up to you. You have complete flexibility to run this as you see fit, but I'll just show you a couple of categories that you may want to play around with. The first one over here down at the bottom right, it says owner occupied, yes or no. So if you're interested in contacting landlords or folks that own a property but do not reside there, you would select no. If you want the primary owner occupants, the seller or prospective seller, then you would select yes for owner occupied. That's, again, it's an option you can select. You don't have to. Next, I might go to in Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, you can search by settlement date. It's a little bit more expansive when you address the recording date. You see we include Delaware, Maryland, DC, Virginia, and West Virginia. But for today, I'm going to just show you an example, assuming you're in PA, Delaware, New Jersey. If you wanted to look up, let's say, a settlement date that's older than let's say 2015, that's 10 years ago, I could type in that date and then include a little dash next to it or the minus sign, and that will return results within that search area for owner-occupied properties that have settled or closed before 10/31/2015. And the reason I might select a date that's 10 years ago is those people, their properties have probably appreciated over the last decade, and they might be ready to consider a move, right? You can see down at the bottom, we have 2,677 matches, right? So if I wanted to move forward and view those results, I could, but perhaps I want to narrow down the scope of this search a bit more. Let's try 10/30/2010 to 10/30/2015. So properties that closed within that 5-year window, 10 to 15 years ago. Now it gets my matches down to a more reasonable number, 763. Maybe we want to add some additional criteria and try to get that number, let's say below, I don't know, below 500 or 300, or, you know, a number that you might be able to work with if you are sending a mailer campaign. Maybe I would go up to total annual tax, and I can play around with the numbers here. So let me try to look for properties that have taxes that are $9,000 or more per year. All right, well, that limits my search to 195 matches. There's nothing magical about that $9,000 figure. You can adjust this, and you can even do a range, you know, 9 to 11,000, whatever it is that you want to do as far as creating your search. Again, that's really just getting me to a place where I know those properties have been assessed by this particular county, and they have taxes that are within that range, right? So maybe I'm trying to target that for a specific reason. But again, you could always leave this blank as well and work within the matches that you have. Okay, so next step, once you've added the criteria that you want and you're satisfied with the number of matches, we can go to results. So down at the bottom, click on that. Now, if you do want to check out the map and just make sure it's in, you know, the area that you really want to focus on, of course, go up here at the top, click on map, and we can see exactly where that map is focused on. And what's nice about this tool is that we can actually, click and bring that radius. We can make it smaller, we can make it larger. We can also add layers if we really wanted to. So if I click on the layer tool, we are searching by zip code here, but maybe we want to select, I don't know, elementary schools, and that way we can look at the different boundary lines for schools in this particular area, right? So I select that as a layer, and then maybe I zoom in here, and then I can use my select layer option. It looks like a little finger here, and I can select the specific school or map layer that I want to select. In this case, it's that Beige Martin. Okay, and then we could, if we wanted to, limit our results to the overlap, right? So if we want to include the intersection, we hover over this red dot and we select include intersection only. Okay, so that's, again, it's a half-mile search from this 19130 zip code, but also falling within that Beige Martin catchment area. So that will capture all the properties there that fit the criteria that closed 10 to 15 years ago. And then we can move forward with our results by clicking on results. And then from here, if we wanted to get these in a mailer ready format, we can select the properties. So it looks like I'm selecting 25 out of 124. So let's change the display at the top to include up to 200. So now I can get everything selected, right? Now I have all 124 selected by clicking on this box here. Then I come down to print under actions. And then from here, I can select the correct option for the mailing labels, right? So we know these are owner occupied, at least based on the search that we ran. So we'll just do owner at property address. Okay, and then we can go to print to PDF. And that will put the names and the addresses onto printer ready label format, right? So for the 5160 mail labels, of course, now you'd have to go and, get the right paper with the little, label stickies on there and get that printed out. But now this is all ready to go. All right, that's just a quick overview. If you want to take a longer class, we offer some webinars that will cover this topic. You can also schedule some live coaching with us by going to education and then schedule live coaching. That will take you to our Calendly page, and you could book free 15-minute Zoom sessions with a coach. And we love doing those trainings with you and working through whatever issue you're trying to work through. So thanks for spending some time with me today. I appreciate it. I hope this was beneficial to you. Feel free to drop some feedback here and follow up with me directly. Jim.oliveiraie@brightmls.com. Thank you.